Okay, so we're here with Frank Garriel, and we're going to be asking Frank a couple questions. Frank's had a phenomenal year, and he's entering in our Client of the Year contest. And I know that that Frank came in and had a great goal in mind, and he's had a ton of success. So I wanted to ask him a couple questions about how he had that success, and also how you ended up here at the studio meeting with us. So Frank, how did you find Body Blast?
So after I found Body Blast on Google, which really was just around the corner, I probably didn't need Google, I was worried. I was worried about coming in and not knowing what to do, not having any direction. This is why I knew I needed a personal trainer. But I came in and the actual fitness and fear portions were quickly put aside. I had someone there, I had you, I had Natalie, I had any of the other trainers here at my disposal, and they were personable, so I no longer had that gym intimidation that I was really afraid of. I didn't want to wind up on awkward gym moments.
Yeah.
I didn't want to wind up hurting myself. I didn't want to wind up trying too hard and then giving up. Right? If I pushed too hard, it felt like I couldn't do it. I need that carrot and the stick. I need the carrot to be just out of reach so that I could feel like I'm gonna get it, and sometimes do get it. But if I came in here and just started on my own, I'd throw 300 pounds on something and find out that I couldn't do it, and then go, I guess this isn't for me.
Now, had you had that experience at other places? Had you joined gyms before?
No, this is the first and only gym I've actually been a member of.
Oh.
I'd set foot in a gym with a friend before and turned around and left. I'd seen the cavernous gyms of Bally's and other large brand names with their endless rows of cardiovascular equipment and weights, and I'm not a musclehead. I'm a nerd. I play board games. I sit in front of a computer. I'm supposed to be fat and geeky and putting on glasses.
Yeah.
I don't need to be. I don't want to be.
Yeah.
But that's what people think of me, because maybe not of me, but of people that do the things I do, because that's conducive to being out of shape.
Yeah.
Right? Sitting in front of a desk all day. So I've had obesity my whole life. No. I've been obese my whole life. I'm not going to be obese anymore. But the struggle, I can remember it all the way back to as early as 5th grade, if not earlier. But 5th grade stands out in my mind because there was field day, which is elementary school Olympics. And Jim would be picked for the 100-yard dash, and maybe Tom would be picked for the long jump, and I was picked for eating a Boston cream donut. It was the donut eating contest. We had to eat the donut hands-free, and I and 100 of my closest, well, 2 of my closest classmates, but 100 of my classmates watching, got to see me win the donut eating contest. And you bring your face up in combination of shame and pride covered in chocolate, and you realize your lot in life, and I was stuck there. I was stuck there for, I don't know, how old are you in 5th grade? 8 years old?
Yeah.
I was stuck there for nearly 30 years.
Okay.
On and off. Made my way out a couple times, but never really got into shape. Never found anything I enjoyed. And that's one of the biggest struggles I've had, is finding some exercise that suits who I am, which is, can I run? Can I bike? What do I do? I don't like running. Biking is all right, but it's kind of inconvenient. Where do you go? Right? Where do you go that's safe? But I never lifted, so I thought, this makes sense. You need to lift. You need to lift to gain muscle. Give yourself a fighting chance to burn those calories and get in shape. Give yourself some definition. And I needed help doing that, because I'd never had that help before. I never had the guidance. I didn't know a row from a press. It didn't mean anything to me. I needed help. There aren't very many people in my family who've lived past 70 years old. 75 maybe, but that's it. We have an expiration date. Where's it written though? Why did we die? It's heart disease. It's heart disease and diabetes. I'd been to the doctor, and I went for allergies or something simple, and they did their mandatory blood work, and they called me. He said, you're pre-diabetic, and it's at the top of the range. One more click, and that's it. You're diabetic. And that's scary. My mom's diabetic, and I'm 36, and she's, well, when she was 48, she had bypass surgery, and she's rightfully terrified. Was it in the cards for me? I mean, it's what killed everybody else, right? Heart disease. So when was it going to be my turn? And I didn't want it to be my turn anytime soon. So I got the blood work done. Back then it was scary, and I buried my head in the sand. I pretended it didn't exist, and it came back to haunt me. It was a couple things. First is I was asked to be the vanity aspect. I was asked to be a godfather for a friend's son, and I went to put on my suit. It didn't fit.
Oh, wow.
So I had to go buy a new suit, and the suit was expensive, and thankfully most of America was getting fatter because Men's Warehouse was able to get me a big and tall suit.
Okay.
I don't like having to shop in a big and tall store, so
yeah,
it's embarrassing. But to get to Men's Warehouse, I walk past it every day on my way to work. I take the train, and the train's 2 floors down, right underground. You're at the platform, and you go up, or anyway, you have to go up 2 flights of stairs to get from the train to the street on my way to work. And I was winded every day. And, as I would get to the top, and maybe I'm exaggerating a bit when I say I was clutching my chest, but I could feel my heart beating. I mean, through my chest. I had to take a break. I was walking slowly. I was breathing heavy, going up 2 flights of stairs. And I thought back to the doctor. I thought back to my blood work. I thought about how high my triglycerides were, how bad my cholesterol was, about my mother, about my pre-diabetic state, that I was probably diabetic already and didn't know it. I said, something's got to change. So I bought my suit. I looked like a blimp in it, and I said, that's it. I'm done. And I looked up personal training, found Body Blast. But Body Blast is an intimate gym. It's not cavernous. There's not thousands upon thousands of square feet of machines and lunks. People here are in shape, trying to get in shape, and they're helpful, and it's very personal.
And then what kind of results have you seen from? But even between when you started just doing the exercise alone, take me over kind of how the results came over the course of the year.
So I can walk up the stairs.
Yeah.
I can absolutely walk up the stairs, and there's no problem about it. I ran the 10-mile Broad Street run. I look better. I feel better. I don't fret about having to go up and down the stairs of my own house. I'm more active with my kids, and I've lost a solid 35 pounds or so. My body fat's come down a lot. I was at like 34% when we started, and now I'm at 26%. I had a slight injury along the way; it slowed me down, but I just kept moving forward. As long as I kept my eyes on just not even the big goal, but like what's next, and then I was still moving in the right direction. So it went pretty fast at first, and it slowed down, but I enjoyed it enough to just keep going. It's not like I slowed down and quit like I did every other time. I was really dedicated to doing it. I am really dedicated to doing it. So my blood work. I go to the doctor. It's horrible. This is 4 years ago. In December, after I'd been a Body Blast for about 4 months, I went in to get blood work done again, and it was fantastic. My cholesterol was down, my triglycerides were down, about the diabetes, right? It's called A1C. It measures your blood sugar over a period of time. I'm still pre-diabetic, but it was at the very bottom of the range. By now, surely I'm not. It's a big turnaround, because I went for 4 years on the verge, worried constantly that I was next, that I was one step away from finding out what was wrong with me from the back of an ambulance. And we have 2 kids now. My son, he wants to be me. He's 4 years old, and he mimics what I do. and I have a family history of obesity, and my wife has a not quite such a family history, but not everybody's super thin. And look at Americans. Look at us. We're horrible in terms of our health and our weight. What can I do for my kids? I can't give them better genetics. I can't make them exercise. I can only be a good example. And you know, I can see it in my kids. They try to be active now that they see their dad being active. Father's Day 2013. My daughter brings home a paper from kindergarten. It says, "What does Dad do for a living?" He builds stuff. I don't build things. It says, "How tall is he?" It said 51 inches. I'm not 51 inches. I'm considerably taller than 51 inches. And it said, "How much does he weigh?" And it said, it was a long answer. It said, "Not a lot of pounds because he goes to the gym."
Nice.
So,
good.
You know, I'm setting an example for them to give them a life that's going to be longer than 70 and longer than 75.
Good.
A life that's active and mobile and not restricted by being sick all the time. So I had 3 goals when I started, 3 long-term goals. I still the same 3 goals. The first one was, don't be harpooned when you go to the beach. So far, I will not be harpooned. I no longer look like I washed ashore, but I could still look better, right? So I would like to, you know, get into good physical shape, right? The vanity aspect. I wanted to be in better health, and we're getting there. And you know, I'll get blood work done again, probably in December, because I'm, you know, I was fine. I don't need to go again, right?
Yeah.
I don't need to go again until, you know, except for my annual checkup. So I'll get it done. That'll be fine. You know, check that box. And the last one is I wanted to compete in a hard physical event, which was Tough Mudder. And on my form, when I filled out when I started here, I said I wanted to compete in one in 2014, and we're still on track for that.
Okay, all right, great.
Once this shoulder's rehabbed, I mean, I'll be able to do the whole thing.
Oh, awesome.
I'm not worried at all.
Well, we will definitely do that with you.
You're in. We
Yeah.
need a team.
Yeah, we'd be happy to do that. Well, fantastic. Well, Frank, congratulations on a fantastic year, and I'm excited to see how you continue on and keep getting better. The changes with your 25% body fat down, and you know, I think not to be missed, the huge change in your blood work. You know, because health is, I mean, if you don't have health, you really don't have much. It is such a big drastic change, and that's huge, and I would love to see what those numbers precisely are, because I'm sure they're just huge changes, and I know that your doctor was really excited about it. So keep it up, keep moving forward, and I wish you luck with the contest, and keep going.
All right, thank you.
You're very welcome.